Welcome to Talkin Wellness with Beth and Jay, the podcast that makes living well fun and attainable. Jay and myself are going to bring you different insights and interviews with a twist of laughter to improve your overall health and wellness. This podcast aims to empower each and every one of you to make small changes in your life resulting in big outcomes. Each week, we're going to focus on topics within the pillars of health and wellness, diet, fitness, mindset, and so much more. And if Jay and I don't know the answer, we're going to grab you some local health experts to fill in the blanks. We're going to talk about some good reads and some of our own personal stories and struggles too. So sit back, relax, and get ready to laugh with Jay and myself on our journeys to finding true wellness. Hi everybody, welcome to Talkin Wellness with Beth and Jay. We are interviewing me today, so very excited about it. And Jay, take it away. We've got some questions.
Yeah, I do have some questions, but before that, I guess just for those of you that don't know Beth, I can't imagine there's too many people now in this community.
Not in this community, no. I'm everywhere.
But maybe just take a few minutes to tell us about Wellness 360 and all the awesome stuff you guys are doing.
Absolutely. So I am a co-owner of Wellness 360. My business partner, Lindsay, and I decided that we were really just tired of the healthcare model of get as many people in as you can, productivity numbers, let's kick them out when, either when they've met their goals. We wanted, we have a lot of people that have long-term diagnoses. Diabetes doesn't go away. Parkinson's doesn't go away. Osteoporosis can be reversed, but more than likely doesn't go away. So we wanted to support people long term. So both of us are in our mid-40s for Lindsay's sake. I won't say exactly where we land on that scale, but we just wanted to kind of do our own thing. So we decided to branch off and we opened up Wellness 360. So our original thought was, let's do something. Let's just ride out until retirement, do what we love to do. And everybody kind of jumped on board. We went from just the two of us to now we have 2 other full-time employees, 2 part-time employees, 2 contractors, 3 contractors, and we're looking for another full-time PT. So so people in the area are starting to know who we are, and we do a lot for the community. And that's what this Talking Wellness is all about, is we really want to educate the community, make you an advocate for your own healthcare, just give you a little more information so that you can make better choices to feel better and live well. So that's kind of where we are. So we offer physical therapy, we offer medical massage therapy, and we offer group fitness classes for disease management. We have a ton of, so we kind of do the specialty classes here at the Webster Rec Center. And that's where Jay and I kind of touch base. I started doing some senior programs here. And then when we developed Wellness 360, we teach our Rock Steady boxing here and our cycle for the active adult. And, we're always coming up with new innovative classes. So we'll be kind of the specialty team here at the Webster Rec Center.
Yes, and I think you get 30, 40, maybe more people for your Friday chair yoga?
My gosh, my
maybe
chair
it's more
yoga.
Than that. Maybe I'm underselling this.
If everybody were to come that signed up, we would be packed. There's
Right.
no way we would fit.
And the room is pretty big. So
It's a big room. So we
Yeah.
started out with 8 seniors, and we did a chair yoga program. I remember we were in this small dance room, and all of a sudden pre-COVID, and then we came back from COVID, and we're busting the walls. We got probably 30 or 40 a class.
And I know your mindfulness program is another hugely popular one.
Mindfulness is very, very popular. I am a huge advocate for stress reduction because I am a high-strung, high anxiety, go, go, go kind of individual. So I adopted a mindfulness mindset, not necessarily to live more calmly, but to be more aware of how high-strung that I can be so that I can on purpose make changes in my health using mindfulness techniques so that I don't end up, with heart problems, high blood pressure, diabetes, those kind of things. So I really adopted this mindfulness habit. I've been living on purpose for a long time now, and I just started talking to some of the seniors. They really liked the way my thoughts and my perspective, and we developed a mindfulness class for the senior population. And to hear those seniors come out of that class and tell me, hey, I was dealing with a situation at home and I remembered something that you said and I was able to handle it with more ease, or I had a different perspective and I'm not upset about it, or, I forgave someone, or, you can't put a price tag on that.
No, not at all. And it's certainly something we're going to take a deeper dive in
Yeah.
some future episodes here. I know we touched upon it on our fledgling attempt during COVID, some of the Zoom sessions that we did on Friday nights. I think isn't that how it started?
It
You were
did.
doing Facebook Live Friday nights, and then it just kind of turned into our book club review.
Oh my gosh, Jay, do you remember the first one we did and we couldn't figure out how to use Zoom? So you called in.
I still don't know how to use Zoom.
So the first one we ever did, we couldn't figure out how to use Zoom. We couldn't go live. So Jay called in on a cell phone and was just your voice in the background. But we did it.
Right.
We recorded it. We built a following.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a couple people, once we opened the facility back up, I think it was August of, was it 2020? But anyway, that fall of 2020, a couple people actually came up to me and thanked me. It's like, it was good hearing yours and Beth's familiar voices, the last 4 or 5 months, which is really stressful for a lot of people, for sure. So, so lots of good stuff. Beth and her team over at Wellness 360 does a lot here with us. We have a lot more things planned. Lots of special events coming up, so certainly stay tuned. And as we move through these podcasts, we will certainly keep you guys apprised, and we'll provide some links to our social media and websites so you guys can stay informed of everything that we're doing over here.
Yeah, because there's a lot. There's a lot coming out for both of us.
Yes. All right, so this first question might seem kind of strange, but what is your favorite word?
My favorite word? Oh my gosh, I'd love to ask.
Do you want to admit that you actually have a favorite word?
So I don't know that it's my favorite word, but I use a lot of adjectives, and they're always amazing or so awesome, or I'm a big talker. I love to talk, and so when I do say it over and over, but I think that if we were to survey my staff and survey my participants in my class, moving and grooving. That is what I'm known for. People will go up to other people and say, does that girl, well, they can't remember it, does she still say moving and grooving? So the reason that came about is because I teach probably 9 to 10 classes a week. And when I switch stations with someone, I'll say either, switch, and they don't know, are they switching exercises? Are they switching stations? So I started saying, okay, we're moving and grooving. They know moving and grooving means go to the next station. Right. So now I say it all the time. I say it at home. I say it. So moving and grooving is probably what I'm most known for.
That works for me. So kind of along with that, if you only had one word to describe yourself, what would it be?
Passionate.
I would definitely agree with that.
I love what I do. And my business partner is I'm so thankful for her because she is very let's put things in numbers, let's run a business. And I am you have to be a really tough person to be with me because I am let's just take a journey, let's take a chance, let's do what we love to do. I'm all about, hey, you want to move, let's do it. Let's sell the house, let's go here, we'll figure it out as we go. So anyone that's detailed, they like a schedule. Really quick story, my uncle will not travel with me anymore because I had to go pick up my grandparents from the airport, and we got in the car and we started driving. He had a doctor's appointment first. It was like an hour and a half away in West Virginia. So we had to go there. Then we had to go to the airport. So he said, what airport are we going to? And I said, I don't know. And he said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I don't know. We're going to the doctor's first. He's like, but we have to go pick up your grandparents. I'm like, I understand that, but that's second. So we get to the doctor's first, and then we'll figure out it's in Baltimore or DC, or it was one of those like Dulles or PWI. And I had no idea what airport it was. Once we got to the doctor's office, I just typed in the flight number and I figured it out. And we got there, but I never have a plan. So
sometimes it works out.
Well, it always does because you're never disappointed.
That is true. Or it leads to another adventure that you can tell people about. Right?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So third question, how would you describe your perfect day?
Oh my gosh, I think about this all the time. Okay, so I just got back from Punta Cana and can't say anything bad about going to Punta Cana. But if I could like transition that into my life. So my favorite day is, first of all, I love going to work, but I would want to wake up with the sunset or sunrise. So I'd want to see that. I want to do my meditation and yoga with the sunrise. And then I'd want to come back and eat breakfast in a calm place where the laundry's done, the dishes are done, and the house is organized. I want to sit in a clean house and I want to eat my breakfast. And then I want to go to work because I love what I do. I want to go to work. I want to teach my classes, maybe not as busy as I am. Maybe I could be a little more choosy of the hours I put in. And then I want to come home with my family. I would want to take my son on a hike. And in the perfect world, my son likes hiking. So he's going to be excited to go on this hike with me. Yes, rather than the eye rolls. Right. And then we're going to go for either a bike ride or a hike. And we're going to come back and we're going to have a meal that I did not prepare. Somebody else prepared a healthy meal for me. And then we're all going to sit down and we're going to binge watch a TV show on Netflix. And I'm going to go to bed at 10. And I'm going to have the best night's sleep ever. And that is my perfect day.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like a great day.
I aim for that every day.
Yeah. How often do you actually attain that?
Well, thanks to your spin class on Saturdays, the Saturdays become a pretty good day for me. So that's good. Your spin class motivates me to get up. I take Lake Road, hoping to see the sunrise at some point. The sunrise is right where I sleep in bed. If I open the windows, the sunrise is right there. So I can see nice. The sunrise.
So I gotta make sure there's shades. Yeah. Especially as we move into the spring and summer.
Yes.
All right. So this next question is, do you have any funny stories or memories or people from your life, anytime during your life, kid to now, that you want to tell us about? So maybe pick a funny person, funny situation, funny story, much like, getting locked out of your hotel room.
Yeah. Okay, so let me think about this. Funny. I have to say, I love my daughter dearly. Absolutely love her. But, my son has this knack about him. My son is hilarious. My son is not your typical kid. My son loves baseball. He likes sporting events enough. He's a lot like me. He could care less about winning. He just wants to have a good time. But he is hysterical. So, for example, my son's humor. I like to do mom and son date nights. I'm not allowed to call them that anymore. And the reason is because he reminded me that it's illegal to date your mom. So do you really think it's appropriate to say that? That was his comment to me. Right. So this is why he makes me laugh all the time. So having said that, I took him on a dinner, non-date. I call it non-date. You want to go to dinner. So when daddy's away, we like to play. So we don't go to dinner much unless daddy's away. So I took him to Buffalo Wild Wings. He's sitting there. He wanted the spicy chicken sandwich. I said, "Are you sure about that?" He said, "I am sure." I said, "It's spicy." And he said, "I know it's spicy. I like it spicy." And he said, "What did I say?" He said, I said, "It's kickin'." And he goes, "It's okay. I like kickin'." I said, "Okay." So he took 2 bites. He can't eat another bite. It's too spicy. And he looked at me. He said, "I said it was kickin'. I didn't say it was a field goal." And it's just like stupid, but it was like out of the blue. And I was like, he makes me laugh all the time. The things that he says, he thinks very, very deeply. So I would definitely say my son brings a lot of humor into my life. He is hysterical. But my husband, believe it or not, and if anybody knows my husband, you're going to meet this stellar guy. You're going to meet this stoic. He's very quiet. He's very, sometimes people think he's a little stuck up. It's not. It's just his personality. He's very introverted.
The exact opposite of you.
Complete opposite of me. And, but if he trusts you and you're in his inner circle, he comes off with one-liners that will, like, I'll just get random texts of the day and I can't stop laughing. But all of my people are secret funny people. Like, nobody would know they're funny unless you were close with them.
Right. So. Well, you're probably one of the best people I know at cultivating relationships. So I can see where that would, that type of thing would come out for you with a lot of different people.
Yeah,
and we sort of had our share of laughs.
We laugh a lot. Yes.
Yeah, we Beth and I have spent, I don't know how many years now.
Oh my gosh, forever.
How many ideas we've compiled, and we're finally starting to actually check some of those off.
Yeah, in the very beginning, we would just come up with these ideas because we like to just spit fire ideas. But
wouldn't it be great if
we just like live and we create these big things.
Yeah.
But now we're actually doing them.
I know.
I think that's pretty amazing.
I know. Between both of us, our schedules are crazy.
Ridiculous. But here we are recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we are recording.
Yeah, we find a way to get this stuff done. All right. So, and this is one that I would certainly answer myself too. And maybe this is a whole podcast in and of itself. But what is one common myth about your profession that you would like to debunk?
One common myth. So for those of you that don't know, I'm dual licensed. I'm a massage therapist and I'm a physical therapy assistant. So I kind of get different perspectives, different types of people. Of course, we teach the group fitness classes also. But the one myth that makes me absolutely crazy is to think that we're like, that you should come to us once and feel better. Chances are you're going to come to us and you're going to feel worse for a little bit of time because we have to undo the years of what you've done. So that is probably my biggest pet peeve, is to think that you're going to come in for a massage or for physical therapy and you expect to be better in the first week. And that's just not the case. Because what we do, we have to wipe the slate clean. So if you are chronically stressed and you have chronic muscle tension, we have to work on your stress levels and we have to use hands-on techniques. We have to change your habits at home. We have to undo the years of what you've done of bad ergonomics. And then we have to build strength. So it takes time, but it's long lasting. The whole purpose of what we do is we want to gift you and educate you on, so it doesn't happen again. Because if you go and you lose 50 pounds and then you go and you start eating fast food again every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're going to gain the weight back. Mm-hmm. Same thing with us. If you come to PT and you faithfully do your exercises, and you get feeling better, if you go back to your normal day-to-day life and don't change your habits at home, you're probably going to be back. So, so I think it's that whole, but I'm not better in one day, right, in one session.
Well, if you think about it, how long did it take you to get to the point where you needed that kind of intervention? So it's going to take a little while for you to kind of unravel all of that stuff. And
my back's been hurting for 3 years. And, I finally just sucked it up and decided to come. Okay, well, here's these exercises. And then I'll see him a week later. Did you do your exercises? No, I did a stretch once,
Right.
Once. One I did,
It's a good start.
Yeah, it is a good start. It is. But let's try it twice.
I think we could definitely.
We're going to fill out the podcast on that one. Yeah,
absolutely. What do you know now that you wish you had known 10 years ago?
Oh my gosh, so many things. So many things. I think if anything, I wish I would have had more confidence in myself because, it's always been, I come from a very small community in West Virginia and, through trial and tribulation, I fought my way out and now I open my own business, but I constantly have people say, oh, well, you're only a PTA and you own your own business, or you're only a massage therapist and you own a business. And, so there's been that only thrown in there a good bit. And it's taken me a long time to build up enough confidence in myself to know that what I do is good and my intentions behind what I do is good. And so it took me a long time to really build that confidence. And it took a lot of mindfulness to be really confident in what I offer. So I think that I probably wouldn't have made a lot of the mistakes I made in the past had I known that I was good enough. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. No, I think that I think it's life experiences that teaches us these things, but just understanding that, the fact that, you are a perfect example to me of a person that knows how to relate and engage with people. And so having, being a DPT as opposed to just a physical therapy assistant, for some people that might be like, well, if you don't have the behavioral and the people skills to pair it with, it's just like being a certified strength and conditioning coach. If, all you know is the X's and O's and all the technical stuff in the science, which is important. And again, I'm kind of digressing here. I know we're on the timetable. it's going to fall short unless you can actually connect with human beings, and you have that going for you more than anybody that I've had the pleasure of working with. So,
well, thank you, Jay. That means a lot. I love what I do, and as long as I love what I do, I'll keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
As soon as you start putting numbers on my plate or telling me I have to, fit in this box, or you've taken the joy out of my day, and I'm no good without my joy.
Yeah.
No good.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm the same way too. There's always going to be a little bit of stress, but again, I wouldn't still be here. At
27 years later, yeah.
Exactly. If I didn't really love being here and what I do, and hopefully it resonates with the people that we work with. You already kind of answered this in professional, but since I don't want to think of yet another question, from a personal standpoint, like you're at home or around other people, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh.
Is there something like that really just when you see it or you're around it, it just...
Yeah, I have a real strong pet peeve when it comes to kids. I am 1000% on board with parenting, and I love my kids dearly. But when I watch other people either put their kids down or don't put their kids first, or and I don't mean first above your spouse or things like that, but I am constantly looking for innovative ways to feed into my children's soul. And whatever that means, hey, you want to experience this class? Let's give it a try. You want to experience this? Let's give it a try. And I know even when I didn't have the finances, because when we moved here, and that's a whole long story, but when we moved here, I had no job, and my husband was a police officer making $35,000 a year in the city.
Yeah.
That was our income. So when I moved here, we had nothing. Absolutely. We worked from the ground up. And I would wake up every morning, and my son and I would sit, and he was probably 2 or 3. And I would take him to all of the free things that we could find here. We would go to Webster Rec events. We would go to parks. We would go to different farms. We would go to petting zoos. We would go anywhere that I could find that was free, just to give him the experience of being out in nature. And we would ride bikes. And I was looking for something a way to exercise when I had no family here to watch my son. So I couldn't afford to go to a gym.
You gotta get creative.
I had to get creative. So somebody gave me a trailer. So we would bike somewhere. I would give him 3 choices. Do you want to go to the farm? Do you want to go to the water and throw rocks in? Or do you want to go get an ice cream cone? And we would choose. And I would ride to that destination, and he would get whatever, we'd sit and throw rocks or whatever, and then I would ride home. And
How often did you pick the ice cream cone?
You know what? The ice cream, believe it or not, it wasn't that often.
Yeah.
He used to love to throw rocks in the water. So that's where
pretty
we would go.
impressive.
So when I see parents just not investing in their kids, it bothers me really, really, really badly.
I think at the very least, you don't have to be perfect, but just
do your best.
Pay attention and engage with them.
That's it.
That's all they're looking for.
Yeah, kids are not supposed to be a thorn in our side. Let them have a voice. Let them talk. Let them be who they are.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. All right, number 8. What is your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
Holy moly, my biggest failure. Well, I'm divorced, so my biggest failure would have probably been my first marriage. It takes 2. There were a lot of things that happened that shouldn't have happened. There was a lot of things that I tolerated that I shouldn't have tolerated, and we'll stop there. But again, it went back to that I am enough. So it took me a long time to realize that, and leaving a marriage that was abusive is scary. So so I learned so much about myself, so much about parenting, so much about managing money and managing a lifestyle, and pulled myself out of a really bad situation. And I met my current husband, who's absolutely fantastic. I had my son, my daughter's doing great. So everything turned out great. There was some real rocky times with some real strong lessons to be learned.
Oh, I can imagine. And maybe the word failure isn't necessarily appropriate because it obviously turned into.
I don't think there are failures.
Yeah.
I really don't.
There's just learning moments, right?
There's learning moments. My son uses that all the time. I said, I just want you to do the best. And he'll say, so now, did you vacuum your room? I'm doing my best.
Yeah, you could take that a little too far. Right?
He does. He pushes it to the limit.
All right. So, are you a morning person or a night owl?
I want so passionately to be a morning person, and I can be when I'm scheduled.
But it's not your.
When I went on vacation in Punta Cana, I would stop every morning at 6 a.m. to watch the sunrise by myself, and then I'd sit and I'd read every morning except for one. I slept through it. But so I think when I'm on vacation, I get things done in the morning. But I can't say that I'm either because I don't like to stay up late. I love to sleep. Yeah. So I want to go to bed at 10, and if I can sleep in till like 7:30 is my hot spot. So if I can go from 10 to 7:30 and get a good night's sleep, I'm happy all day long.
Yeah, I've developed into a morning person. You know, I'm often here by 5. Even on the days I don't really have to be here that early. And
6
consequently, I'm, crashing by 7, 8, 9 o'clock. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
If I wanted to choose one, right now I'm neither. But if I wanted to choose one, it would be a morning person. And if I'm on vacation and resting, it's always morning.
Right. I used to be more of a night owl. Now, I mean, I feel terrible. I can't even stay up and watch the movie.
Well, not if you're getting up at 5.
No. I've even gone to movies with my son, and you're snoring, So I guess I got to reevaluate things here. All right, this is kind of a fun one and one that we hear a lot, but I'm definitely interested to know. What would you bring if you could only bring one thing to a deserted island? And it can't be food or water.
Okay.
Something guilty pleasure that you just can't live without.
Okay, so
I'm not even sure what I would bring.
Yeah, this is going to be hard, so I'm just going to kind of pull something out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I'm going to. Oh, you can't be food.
Well, it depends. Where are you going with food? Is this like your guilty pleasure food?
Yeah, it would be my guilty. I am obsessed with potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
I don't care how you.
So you bring like a sack of potatoes? Is that what you're saying?
I would bring a sack of potatoes.
You
can use it as a weapon too. You can throw them. You can plant them.
It's like potato chips, fries.
I can eat all the potato chips and French fries, mashed potatoes in the world in one sitting. Like if I had to eat one thing, it would be potatoes. Always has been, always will be. I could eat. Like if you were to take me on a date, I would say just take me somewhere with good French fries. Like I just want French fries.
I just want potatoes.
Yeah. So when I went gluten free, it's really tough because of all the cross contamination now.
Right.
I get very, very sick, so I don't get to eat them often. So I will eat a potato any way I possibly can eat a potato, which was really terrible. Which I'm working with, a dietary team. Help me, but like if I were to lose weight, I used to do like low carb for a while, so I'd give up potatoes. But then I realized now that I need the carbohydrates, and now I need potatoes in my life. So it was the best news ever that I can eat potatoes again.
Everything in balance, right?
Yeah.
There's so many delicious ways to enjoy potatoes.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with you on that. Do you like sweet potatoes too, or
I do, not as much.
Okay, so it's got to be.
If it's in a French fry form, I will eat any potato.
Right.
And it's something about
fried food. There's something about it just.
Well, even baked. Yeah. I just like the form of a French fry. So it could be anything that's baked or I air fried. That's what I normally do.
Yeah.
But you'll always get me with potatoes.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Wheels are already spinning.
Yeah, I love potatoes so much. So I know you said no food, but I don't really. I'm not connected to anything. My Jeep.
Like you don't want to have your dog with you, or?
Oh, I guess I could take people. Oh, I love my dog. She's very, very old. She's like 15. Yeah, I would love my dog. I would take my dog. Maybe more than a potato. Maybe.
I'd probably take a potato before my dog, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, we'll get back to that one.
Yeah, we'll get back to that one. No, my dog's great. We'll just leave it at that. Anybody that knows me is probably laughing right now. I think we got through it.
I think we did.
Yeah.
All right, a little bit about Beth. Last episode, a little bit about Jay, and now we're going to dive into the good stuff. We're going to dive into the wellness. We're going to dive into just little tips and tricks to turn wellness into something that's easy. A lot of people that live an unhealthy lifestyle or have weight to lose or are really high stressed or just their world seems like it's spiraling. reading a self-help book is sometimes overwhelming. Oh my gosh, well now I got to get my sleep in order and I got to eat better and I got to this and I got to that. And Jay and I are here to tell you it's one step at a time. It's a little perspective change. It's, just making one small step towards goodness in one area at one time is enough to really make big results in your life.
Yeah, and not overthinking all this too, so.
Yeah, we just want to make it fun. So you're going to hear lots of stories about my kids. You're going to hear lots of stories about Jay's dog because now I'm intrigued. And so we look forward to working with you. So we'll see you next week with our first wellness topic.
Yep, talk to you guys soon. You can call it that, right?
All right, I'll let you start.
All right, how did you,
I'll start.
Okay. I don't know, you were just so good at that whole intro thing.